So let's go ahead and create the menu items for our navigation drawer. Alright, so let's navigate to our resources menu. Then we right click and create a new menu resource. We'll call this menu resource drawer main. Okay. So the first item I'm going to create is the notes item. The notes fragment label and the ID. Now I want us to be careful with the ID. When you're creating the menu IDs for our navigation drawer, these IDs should match our destinations inside our navigation. To put simply, the navigation component will navigate to these fragments automatically when we use the IDs inside our menus resource. Now, since I'm using the notes fragment, I'll just copy the ID for the notes fragment. It's notes fragment. And I'll place it here. I'm going to close that. Then I'm going to copy for the remaining items. So next is archive. To be the archive fragment. And this is going to be archive fragment. So I'm going to copy that again. Now it's deleted, the deleted fragment. Let me see the ID. Deleted fragment. Then the next, you're going to have settings, then finally about. Let's get rid of that's settings and about. This is going to be about. This is settings. Since we did not I did not add these settings, the settings fragment into our destinations, I'll just give it a random ID. Yes, I'm going to change this to, let me just look at its ID. So let's navigate to our activity main, our XML file, and the layout, activity main. We are going to give our navigation drawer the menu that we've just created. App menu. At menu. Drawer main. Alright, so now we can go ahead and run our app and see these changes. So once your app has run, you should observe the following: that the menus are now visible and it's highlighted all nodes. That means we are in that destination. So we can choose to switch, and as you can see, it navigates to the corresponding fragment. So do not be surprised. Actually, under the hood, as I said earlier, your menus, since they have the same IDs or the corresponding IDs with the navigation graph, then your navigation controller is just matching the IDs and bringing up the destination with that ID. Now let's go ahead and give these menu items their icons. Let's navigate to project, under resources, right click on your drawable file, new vector asset, then you click on this clip out. So you're going to start with the notes fragment. You're going to search for a sticky note icon. So I'm going for the outlined versions of the icons. Okay, next, and finish. And then I'm going for another new vector asset, archive, I'm going to do the same for the archived icon also. Now let's go for the settings. Two more. This is the deleted. And the last icon, about, is called info. Let's start with the notes item. I'm going to give it an icon. Outline sticky notes. Let me just copy this. So for the archive fragment, it's going to be archive, outline archive. And for the deleted fragment, delete, settings, and finally for the about, it's going to be info. So one thing I want to change about these icons, let me just navigate to one icon. I'm going to change the tint. I'm going to use color control normal, and I'll copy this for all of these icons. And finally the outline. Okay, so let's run to see the changes.
So once you run your app, then you should see the following changes inside your navigation drawer. You should be able to see the icons. Alright, there's one behavior that I want to change. For these three destinations, the notes, archive, and deleted, I want to make this the top level destinations. Which means once I navigate, then instead of seeing this back arrow, you'll see the menu icon right here. Okay, so let's go ahead and fix that. Let's navigate to our main activity, and we'll make changes inside this app bar configuration. It's right here. Instead of this nav graph, then I'm going to add a set of top level destinations. Then inside, I'll add these IDs. Notes fragment, archive, okay, that's it. So let's run to see these changes. So the menus have updated as they should. So as you can see, when you navigate to deleted, archive, or notes, then we still have this menu icon. So which makes these our top level destinations. Okay, right now what is left is to change this user interface and make it match our expected UI. So let's do that. Okay, so first we are going to change the status bar color and the navigation bar color to white, but we will have dark icons for the two. So let's just get started with that. Let's navigate to our resources, under values, themes, select the first themes. So right here we are going to change the color for the status bar and the navigation bar. So here you're going to have the navigation bar right here. Okay, so since this is colored primary, we're going to change this into white. So my white here, this is how your white should look like. Okay, let's go back to our themes, and we're going to have one more attribute here for the status bar. Light status bar, and this is going to be true. I'm going to change this into navigation. Okay, so I'm going to add the first attribute for the navigation bar. I'm going to make this white as well, and I'm going to add the last attribute. This is going to be true. So this usually requires an API level of 27. So let me just add it here. 27. That's good. So let's see the changes. So you should have, or you should see the following changes. Okay, right now I want to change the theme for this application. Instead of dark action bar here, I'm going to remove the dark action bar. I'll just leave it at day night. And okay, right now also I want to change the color for our toolbar, which is currently our action bar. Let's navigate to activity main. Right here, I'm going to change this background color to white as well. And we're going to remove this pop-up theme, and I'm going to do the same here for the app layout, and I'm also going to give it a background of color white. Okay, so next we are going to work with our bottom up bar. Let's just scroll just right here. We're going to add an attribute here, a fab crumble rounded corner radius to 32, and fab alignment mode. Sorry, that's already added. Okay, that's good.
This is going to be 32dp. Okay, so you should have the following changes. Also, let us just remove this elevation. This is going to be 0dp, and here also. Okay, that's good. So let's navigate to our main activity. Right here we're going to add our destination change listener. So that once we navigate to one destination, then we are notified. Nav controller on this destination change listener. Let me just implement some of these members. So I'm going to change this into a lambda. Okay, so I'm going to add some bit of logic such that whenever we navigate between destinations, we change the title as expected, because we're going to transfer our action bar from the toolbar to our bottom action bar, to our bottom up bar. Okay, so right here, our support action bar, we're going to change this. Instead of using the toolbar, we're going to use our bottom up bar. Yeah, the bottom up bar. And finally here, let's just write a simple method set destination title. So let me just copy this one statement. So right here we're going to return the nodes fragment label, resources, get string, r.string, nodes fragment label. And it's going to be the same for the rest, just changing the labels. So this is going to be archive fragment label, and this is going to be deleted, and this is about. And let's add an else statement here. Let's return to the default. Then you're going to add return here, simply just like that. And finally, we are going to say the title here. We're going to say the title for our toolbar.
from the destination.id. Okay, so right here we're going to show this floating action button whenever we navigate to the notes fragment, but hide it when you navigate to the remaining fragments. So we are going to do right here. Let me just remove all this, and here we are going to show it. Okay, so this should show when you navigate to the notes fragment, and any other fragment you're going to hide this floating action button. Okay, so let's run our app to see these changes. So right now the action bar has changed from the toolbar to the bottom up bar. So when you try to navigate, then it sets the title too, and it hides the floating action button. Okay, so that worked.